The Titans in Skibidi Toilet have an exceptionally overpowered set of abilities, including but not limited to overwhelming physical strength, impressive agility, unlimited stamina, tremendous speed, and even insanely durable physical armor. But the most important aspect that makes them terrifying is the fact that if they are injured, they have the option to get upgraded and become even more powerful. After all, this was the decisive factor that contributed to the victory of the Alliance in the battles we saw so far. But what if this was not the case? What if the Titans did not have the option to come back and return with their upgraded forms? How would the fight between the duo Titans and the fake G-Man turn out? Or how about the fight between the camera Titan and the infected speaker Titan? Would the TV Titan have enough strength and power to clap the Skibidi scientist? I mean, the battle of the Titans and the scientist would surely look pretty different, right? Let's get right into it. For this what-if scenario to make sense, we would assume that their strength and overall power output are now heightened. After all, the Titans should stand some chance against overpowered mutants and have some advantages that would help them somehow cover the void for them not being upgraded. But what do we mean by that? Well, for this scenario, we would assume that the durability and energy output are now incredibly high. And although we did say that the Titans can't get upgraded, that doesn't mean that if they are severely injured, they can't get repaired. The only thing is that they wouldn't get upgraded, but would be able to come back as they were before, and thus continue the battle with their base forms. But you see, this was only the introduction, as we would now explain step by step how the Skibidi series would look like in this version of the story. Let's begin with one of the most important and interesting scenes, episode 50. Similar to the original story, the camera base gets attacked by the Skibidi Toilets, and after 29 episodes, the camera Titan would return. But this time, he would still have the same looks and powers like he did in the past. And although the attack on the base was massive, and the mutants were also powerful, we believe that the strength of the base camera Titan is enough to easily destroy all the mutants. After all, Plungerman had confidence that he could take down the Flame Skibidi on his own, which we all know what could have happened if he actually went for the kill. So yeah, the camera Titan would quickly save the base, and move on to the other episodes. And since we took things in chronological order, the next important battle would be in episode 55, where the camera Titan would have to fight against the bathtub and the undead Skibidi. And although we know these guys are significantly stronger than anything the camera have ever faced, the camera Titan would still definitely take down the bathtub toilet pretty easily. But is this the same for the undead? Well, not entirely, as this guy's acidic properties make it even dangerous to even touch him. And from what we've seen from the base camera, he doesn't have any range ability except for his core blast. And since the Alliance has no idea of this acid, the camera would try to defeat the mutant like he did with the three-head toilets, and would take it down. But would sadly lose both of his arms due to the effects of the acid, and as a result would have to go back or maybe need some immediate repair to fix his arms. Yeah, I guess you can see how different and intense things would get in future episodes. Even though no significant change happened in the story so far, wait to hear what happened in later parts of the video. Some characters that died in the original story would survive, while others that originally made it out alive would die much sooner. And believe me, the story gets more interesting and funny in the final part of the video. Let's continue. The next important episode in the series is the 57th episode. Now, things get really serious from here, as we know in the story. The Speaker Titan got infected, and then got upgraded. And yeah, you might say,
"But Unique, you said the Titans shouldn't get upgraded."
Yep, but if you think of it, this improvement came from the toilet's side and not the Alliance. So yeah, it is valid. Besides, this would later on help the Alliance in the future episode. Just watch and see. So in this battle of the camera versus the infected speaker, we believe that since the Alliance was lending their aid to the camera, he would try to hold his own against the speaker. But since we know that G-Man and the Skibidi Strider then later on came to this battle and was even much upgraded, things wouldn't go so well for the camera Titan. But not entirely because, like we explained at the start of this video, the durability and overall power output of the Titans would be improved. So even if it wouldn't be consistent and as powerful as the upgraded camera did, having a slim chance to land even a single blast on G-Man or the Strider would definitely be enough to take them down, even though it wouldn't be completely. So with this opening, and with the help of the Alliance, we believe that with a really high extreme difficulty, the Alliance would successfully free the Speaker Titan from the parasite, and thus would have their victory. But this time, it came at the cost of the Camera Titan being partially wounded and weakened. Think of it like how he was after he got hit by the kamikaze. Speaking of that, you really don't have to miss the shocking event that would happen there. Anyways, episode 58 would go exactly as it does, as the Camera Titan didn't have to do anything as the Speaker Titan did it all by himself. But episode 59 would be different though, since the camera has to regain his strength not to be put in even more danger. The Speaker Titan would clear it himself. Can he? Of course he can, right?
Of course!
But now, another really important battle is the Duo Titans versus the fake G-Man. Now, this is where one of the biggest changes occurs in this video. As we know, the fake G-Man was no joke at all. I mean, he held his own against the upgraded versions of the Titans in the original story, and thus would do the same here. But this time, even with a more difficulty in the Titans side, but since we know that this G-Man isn't the strongest to fight against these Titans, they would then successfully defeat him. All it would take is some behind support attacks from the Speaker Titan and several energy shots from the Camera Titan. But then, the kamikaze comes into play, and since we know that this version of the camera arguably doesn't have a shield, it would directly land on the Camera Titan and then would totally destroy him. But there is still a possibility that this Camera Titan could actually use a shield. And if you want to know why, then go watch this video on the channel as I explained how the energy shield is being generated and why G-Man was able to use it. Anyways, back to the video. The Camera Titan would be hit by the acid and then would take several episodes to return, or would just completely get eliminated from the series. You pick which suits your taste. But now we do know what will happen next, right? Yeah, the Speaker Titan would have to fight the Skibidi scientist all by himself. Which, well, you know how that would play out, right? The scientist would totally be hitting the Speaker Titan's ass. And it's not even going to be a fair battle, as G-Man would then show up upgraded and would join the scientist on the trolling. But then when everything is looking like it's the end, the TV Titan would then return. But this time he still remains like Cinema Titan. And surprisingly, Jimmy would still run away, because in the original story, he didn't even have to see the TV Titan before he zoomed off, but only get to hear his voice to do so. And then, when Cinema Titan shows up, the scientist would attack. But all of it would be deflected by sound waves. And as we explained, the output of their powers would be increased. The TV Titan would use the sound and light combo and would damage the scientist a lot. And with the help of the speaker, the Titans would successfully kill the scientist. But, sadly, I guess the troll leak Dafuq would share to us wouldn't be only the TV Titan and the scientist, but rather the Speaker Titan as well. So, I guess it would be a well, only you know what you thought of because I wanted to say a three-way battle. Anyways, scratch that off your head. And now, with the scientist out of the way, there comes an even bigger threat, the Astro Toilet. And I'll leave this one to you to tell me what would happen if this Astro Toilet fought against an improved version of the Cinema and Speaker Titan. I would love to see what you think, and the most satisfying and relatable comment would get a pin and a medal on top of it. Check out this video where me and my buddies discuss who's actually stronger between the new overpowered Clock Titan and a fully powered Tri-Titan. Go on, check it out!